the virtual reality screen. I just see a note that my phone says probably the video is too long. Well, I'll continue anyway. Stream, yeah, GoPro. This was this was a little tricky for me. You cannot. GoPro is not supposed to stream, and the streaming cameras, they are not good enough to capture like monitor view. So I had a long discussion about what to do, and they say GoPro is the only version, but GoPro cannot be connected to the computer directly. So you need an additional thing which is called Camlink, another $130 or so in order to connect the GoPro to the computer, and then you can stream the stuff. That was more than I was happy to invest in this, but it works. So having the GoPro connected with Camlink, you can stream this view into your stream. What I'm quite proud of is cable management. You can. I found these Neopren flexible cable management things. Yeah, I found them on Amazon. So you can wrap your cables into this. You can open and close them, and you can. They are in different sizes, and you can do two of them. For example, here in the rig, they are like here. I can open them, and inside are the cables, so you can easily add cables later on, and everything is tidy. I also have installed a nice bottom here because I don't want this to be open. This is like my car, so there is a nice black bottom here on in my cockpit. And last thing missing on the right hand side, I have one tablet here where GRT is running with the most important information about the distance of the race and fuel to add, and the most important information about the guys I'm racing with. So the lap times, and the I rating and the license, as well as safety rating. So you have an idea. If this is like an A-class 4.99 safety rating, then you can expect him to be kind of a safe driver. If it's like red, you want to have some more distance, probably. So this is like the big version of it with basically all the data. Well, I didn't load it now, but here you have more delta time and more detail, but it's rather small to read. So when racing, I prefer this version, which is easier to read. Is the track map working? You see that you can see the track and other guys where they are on the track. Sometimes it's helpful. I just had this on my fourth screen, but as I said, I prefer when racing to have this black. And then the only really important information from the info screen I want is GRT, so I installed the tablet right here. So when I race, I just can take a look here and see, okay, where am I, where are the others, who are they, and so on. So very convenient. Sometimes I like to race old cars, so then I use clutch and heel and toe braking, and that's a regular FANATEC H-Shifter. Good enough for me. I don't use this too much, and then only just for fun. There's like a really high-end version, maybe at some time I go for this. I don't know the name, but it's this red, massive one. It's quite pricey, but for sure it's the best quality out there. Just for me, for now and then, this is good enough for me. I have the HEUSINKVELD handbrake, as well as the HEUSINKVELD sequential shifter. The HEUSINKVELD sequential shifter is just a very small one, like you had in old Formula cars. For me, it's too small. I prefer, if I use sequential shifting, it's rallycross or rally. I prefer like a more massive, large version. So I got this baby here. Nothing special, just large. Where you can, like, it's very sturdy, and hard you can like go crazy with this. Same for the handbrake. I mean, this is like super massive. I ran out of corner brackets, so this is supposed to be a little bit further back. I'm going to change that, but for now that's good enough for me. You can change to how you call it, elastomer. So white one is a soft one, and then you can have a green one, which is harder. So in this, I was not able to have it installed like this on the SIMETIK cockpit. This is the advantage of the alu profiles. This kind of setup is very hard to establish in most other cockpits, but with profiles, for example here, I just added another 80 by 40 to get this up high. So now the sequential shift is at the same height than the wheel, same for the handbrake. So I have this like right where I want it to be, and this is like in a real car a little bit more down in the middle, so that's nice too. That's the emergency button for the FANATEC wheel. I didn't have to use it so far, but the on-off button here is very convenient. And the mandatory cup holder, of course, for getting your liquids during the race. I think that's it for the biggest part of it. That's my new rig. I'm really very happy with this. Everything works really nice. You see that the whole stuff is moving. Well, probably you're not so much because I'm moved and so the phone is moved, so you don't see that this thing is moving so much. But it's really reactive. If you go like this, I get shaken around quite a bit. And the moment you go into turn, the thing is moving exactly the same way what you would expect it to do. The thing I was most surprised with when I started to use the motion is the way the motion works when you go over a curb. It really starts to shake the whole car. So every time you touch a curb, the whole cockpit shifts, and this is really nicely done. I try to drive and record this and go over a curb. Not that easy to do. Oh, this is too fast. Not better, let go. Once you start using direct drive and you crash, let it go, because it's going to hurt you. So for me, the experience going over curbs is something completely new since I use this motion system. It's really impressive when you slide towards the curb, and then you hit the curb and your car goes up the curb. The whole cockpit makes shifts like this, and if it's quite violently, the cockpit is really like pushing you like this, and you're like moving in your whole seat according to how you touch or go over the curb. That's really impressive. So the most impressive thing I experienced in sim racing for the last 2 years, definitely. So big credits. If you go motion, go D-Box. That's would be my recommendation if you can afford. It's they are too pricey, but otherwise they are definitely the best solution out there as far as I'm concerned. So I think that was introduction of my cockpit. I hope there's a guy coming. I hope you liked it. You have an idea of my cockpit now. If you have any questions about any of the components, I make a huge list of the components and the links I'm using and how I'm using them. If you're in Austria, Vienna, and you're interested in sim racing, give me a message, send me a message, let me know. We can make an appointment. You can test drive here my rig, no problem. Would be happy to have you, and maybe I can help with your sim rig project. Happy driving, and see you out on the track.